Winning Blueprint presents.
In the lab room, the market, Cleveland Browns.
Welcome to the market. You are in the lab room. I'm your host, Lou. Thank you for joining me. This is the market, the NFL's one-stop shop for all positions related to the field. Also known as, and more commonly known as, free agency. So I'm here to talk about the Cleveland Browns. This here is my comprehensive list of every free agent available on the market. Right here is my trusty, handy dandy big board filled with copious amounts of information about every team in the National Football League. And today we're going to discuss the Cleveland Browns, and I'll be really looking off of my big board to discuss with you what the Cleveland Browns should be looking for when they take their trip into the market. Again, this is a Cleveland Browns team that is a part of the Dummy Dollars spending group. And so they can go into the market and pick up whatever they like. Now, will they do that? Probably not. That's why they're in the Dummy Dollars group, because they don't spend a lot of money in free agency. However, everyone in the market is available to the Cleveland Browns. And so we're going to talk about the Browns, break them down extensively, talk about their notable free agents that they need to re-sign or at least have as free agents in-house. We'll talk about the ones that they need to bring back, the ones that they need to let walk away. We'll talk about positions of need for the Cleveland Browns. We'll talk about all the players that are available for the Cleveland Browns at those positions. So let's start talking about the Cleveland Browns. So you look at the Cleveland Browns and the notable free agents that I've compiled that I feel like the Browns have coming up are Sheldon Brown, Joshua Cribbs, Phil Dawson, Kaluka Maivia, and Benjamin Watson. Now, going through these free agents one by one, I think Sheldon Brown is a guy that you just need to let walk away. He's getting up there in age. I don't know if the Browns have plans for him to move to safety or not. Not sure what the situation is there. All I know is that Sheldon Brown is getting up there in age, and you need to be younger at the cornerback position. If you want to keep him around for depth and the price tag is right, why not? But if Sheldon Brown still feels like he needs to be paid like a starting cornerback in the National Football League, you let him walk away. Joshua Cribbs. This is a pretty dicey situation. Here's a guy that spent his whole entire career with the Cleveland Browns. He's a Cleveland guy himself. He's willing to give the Browns a hometown discount. But I don't know if the Browns want that discount or not. I don't know if the Browns want back into Joshua Cribbs' business. So we'll see. He slowed down. The skills are starting to diminish. He wasn't that good of a returner last season. He fumbled the football quite a bit. Joshua Cribbs might have seen his last days in Cleveland. I don't know. If I'm the Cleveland Browns, I see what else is out there first. And if I don't find anything to my liking and he's still around, then we talk. Phil Dawson. This guy is one of the most consistent field goal kickers in the league. He's trusty. He bailed you guys out quite a bit last season, as he's always done. There's a reason why you franchised him the last 2 seasons. Can't franchise him again for the 3rd consecutive year, or else you'd have to pay him quarterback franchise money. No one's doing that for a field goal kicker, and so you got to see if you can get Phil Dawson back. Whatever you need to say, whatever you need to do to get Phil Dawson back, by all means, knock yourself out. But if Phil Dawson wants to go and play for a winner, there's nothing you can do about that. Kaluka Maravilla. I think that he's a guy that was solid. Nothing spectacular, nothing great here. He's not going to wow you, but he's just going to be solid. And on your football team, you need guys who are just solid. You need to fill your roster out with guys that are solid. You're not going to have Pro Bowl, All-Pro players all around your roster. You need guys that are just going to do their job and be solid. Here's a guy that's going to do exactly that. You need to bring this guy back. Benjamin Watson. It would be nice if you could get him back. I think he fits what the Browns are trying to do beautifully. He's a tight end, and I think the Browns have another good, solid young tight end in Cameron Jordan. But I think Benjamin Watson is a guy that you want to keep around. But is the price right for Benjamin Watson? Don't know. Again, I don't know how much he's asking for. I don't know how much the Browns are willing to spend on Benjamin Watson. Whatever the case, if you can get him back, get him back. If you can't work it out, there are some other tight ends on the free agent market. So positions of need for the Cleveland Browns. Cornerback, tight end, rush outside linebacker. You are switching to a 3-4 defense from a 4-3 defense, and thus you need some rush outside linebackers. And I put guard in parentheses because if you want to be nitpicky, the Browns could use an upgrade at the guard positions. I'm not a nitpicky guy, so I'm not really going to go deep into the guard position for the Browns. Look, if you want to upgrade your offensive line, your center position and your 2 tackles are among the best in the league. If you want to be nitpicky and you want to upgrade your guard position, by all means, do that. But I'm not going to go into the guard position for the Browns. Let's start with the cornerbacks. Look, you're in a position to spend as much money as you feel necessary on the cornerback position, or any position for that matter. We're talking about a team that has the most money under the cap right now, currently in the league, at just around $49 million. So if you want something in the market, you can afford to get it in the market. So looking at some of the high-priced cornerbacks in the market, Aqib Talib, Brent Grimes, Sean Smith, Dominique Rodgers-Cromartie, Kerry Williams, and Derek Cox are all going to be available come the start of free agency. It's up to you to decide if any of these guys are worth the money that they're going to be asking for. And it's up to you to decide if you're looking to upgrade with one of these players. All of these guys can help you upgrade at the cornerback position. They're young. They're talented. It's up to you to decide if you're willing to spend the money to help upgrade that part of your football team. Tight end position. Look, if you're the Browns, try and bring Benjamin Watson back. But if you can't, you're going to need to address that either through free agency or the draft. Here's your free agency options. You look at Delaney Walker. That's the tight end from the 49ers. He's the backup tight end. He's waiting to start and explode. He's a guy, much like Benjamin Watson, can be very valuable for you in the passing game. And he doesn't mind blocking. So Delaney Walker will be an option that will be out there. And look, this guy can play football. He's very athletic. Don't be afraid to go after a guy like Delaney Walker if you can't bring Benjamin Watson back. Dustin Keller will be available, tight end from the Jets. He's a guy that didn't have the best 2012 campaign, but he's a highly productive receiver that if you get him, he's a receiving tight end. He's not a heck of a blocker, but he can catch the football. And if put in the right situation, he can flourish. Jared Cook Jr. is a guy that I think is on the cusp of exploding as one of the best tight ends in the National Football League. I don't know if he'll come to Cleveland or not. To be blunt with you, I don't know if he wants to come to Cleveland. He spent his last 4 seasons in Tennessee losing football games. I don't know if he wants to continue to do that. He might want to go to a winner. I don't know if Cleveland will be able to convince him. Look, again, dollars, they can change anyone's mind. Money talks. Everything else walks. So at the end of the day, he may want to play for a winner, but he may not be able to turn down the amount of money that someone like, say the Cleveland Browns could throw at him. I don't know. Martellus Bennett, another option, had a solid season with the New York Giants in 2012. He's a guy that has not played up to his full potential, but he played a lot better in the 2012 season. He played much better than he did in Dallas. And I think he's a guy that just needs a fresh start. And he got that in New York, and he played well. Maybe another fresh start might be all he needs to start playing at a very high level. And lastly, Fred Davis, the Redskins tight end that they haven't re-signed yet. He's coming off of serious surgery, tore his Achilles last year. But here's a guy that if he's 100%, he can be a difference maker in the National Football League. These are all your tight end options. Don't be afraid to explore every single one of them. Rush outside linebacker. This is a position of need for the Browns. You're switching to a 3-4 defense. You're going to need a rush outside linebacker. Maybe two of them. So you look at your options. Paul Kruger, the ex-Ravens linebacker who was going to test the free agent market. This guy is a young budding star, I think. Don't be afraid to go and snatch away a player from a division rival and help better your football team and make them worse. Connor Baldwin, the Houston Texans outside linebacker. I think the Texans are going to try to have him back, but they haven't already done so, so that means he's available. Don't be afraid to go make a run at him. This is a guy that's highly productive and can help upgrade your outside linebacker position. Sean Phillips, an aging veteran. But look, you're not going to be able to get young and talented all the time. You're going to have to settle for experienced and seasoned sometimes. This is a guy that's getting up there in age, but he's still productive. Don't know how much he has left in the tank, but if you're looking for a cheaper alternative, that could be your guy. Darryl Smith, a longtime Jacksonville Jaguar, is a guy that I don't know if you'll be able to wrestle away from Jacksonville. I think he wants to stay in Jacksonville. I think his heart's in Jacksonville. However, he's a guy that is extremely consistent. You know what you're getting from Darryl Smith. And so he might not be a rush outside linebacker. If you're just looking for a guy that can set the edge, be consistent, be a tackler, be around the football, Darryl Smith's your guy. And you won't have to break the bank to get him either. So that's an option that you might want to look to explore. And if you want to go that route, Darryl Smith, Rocky McIntosh, or Eric Walden might all be guys that you need to consider. All guys that are solid, won't wow you with their production, won't wow you with the things that they can do on the football field. They'll just be solid. And again, you need solid players on your team. You're not going to fill your roster out with Pro Bowl players all over the place, with all pros all over the place. You need role players. You need guys that are just going to come in and do their job and nothing else. And so don't be afraid to look and sign a few guys that'll do just that. I talked about the guard position. There are a few guards that you could look at if it is, in fact, a position of need that you feel you need to attack. Andy Levitre is the first guard on the list. Look, the Bills are making a mistake. He should have been re-signed already. If they don't make a serious play for Andy Levitre, you should. If you want your line to be elite, this is a guy that can make it elite. You, to me, are already one of the best offensive lines in the league. You want to take that next step and become the best line in the league. Andy Levitre is a guy that can help you do that. Luis Vasquez, guard out of San Diego, will be available. Again, he will be an upgrade over the two guards that you had in the 2012 season. By all means, if you feel like you need to address it, here's a guy that can help you do that. Donald Thomas is a guy that many people know little about. Backup guard for the Patriots. Played well in that backup role. Was invaluable to the Patriots in the 2012 season. He's a guy that I think could help some teams if they put him in a starting capacity. So those are your options if you're the Browns. There are many other options at the guard position, but again, You have a lot of money to spend and no need to be cheap. If you're going to go out and spend it, go get some stuff that can help you, that you know you're spending your money on and is going to be a wise investment. And that's it for the Cleveland Browns. Don't be afraid to spend money. Again, you have the most money available to you to go and spend in the market. Now, I'm not saying you have to spend all of your money, and I know you won't spend all of your money, but don't be afraid to make your team better, more productive, more of a contender in the 2013 season. This is the first step to doing that. Don't be afraid to spend money. And that's the Cleveland Browns in the market.
Cincinnati Bengals, the market in the lab.